After a bit of a hectic or even tumultuous start to 2023, February is actually shaping up to be a beautiful month. There's a huge potential for progress and a momentum that is carrying us forward. For you specifically, Leo, there's a lot of focus on partnership, communication, and trust, and that's going to kind of be a pervasive theme throughout the month of February. If you're excited for today's reading, then definitely be sure to hit like, subscribe, and the bell notification so you can always stay up to date with what's in the cards for you. For those of you who are brand new to my channel, my name is Michael, and I incorporate tarot and tropical astrology to intuit monthly forecasts for your zodiac sign. If you're looking to dive even deeper, you can find links for personal readings and distance Reiki sessions with me in the description box down below, as well as links for the blog posts and my other social media accounts. The first things that came out to me was the Justice card. This is actually the past influence for you, Leo, coming into February. This Justice card is kind of informing the overall vibe. And there's been a big focus on balance. And I'm really looking at this card quite closely, looking at the scales, looking at the sword, looking at the number 11. I do feel like a lot of you have been seeing repeating number sequences. I do note them sometimes in my reading, but for some reason this 11 was just very, very loud to me. So if you're seeing the number 11 a lot, there is something with synchronicity or some sort of divine intervention or a miracle. Something is conspiring or coming together. Conjunction is a word that is coming to mind. There are things that are coming together. And I really feel like you've been striking balance here. And for some of you, this could be involving groups of people. There could have been some issues that you've been working out. Again, I'm really looking at the scales. This feels very, very important to me. Maybe some of you are connecting to a Libra energy, or you have been connecting to a Libra energy that's been significant in some way. But I really do get the sense you've just needed to work things out and maybe deal with some bureaucratic stuff, deal with some stuff maybe involving court or, you know, the like human resources or something like that. That is potentially one way to look at justice. For others of you, this is more about striking some sort of inward balance, figuring out what your own boundaries are, and perhaps even using the sword if you need to. Justice isn't always going to be complacent and quiet. Sometimes there is this need to advocate, and you might be continuing to do that this month, just kind of peeking ahead here. The next card I have for you is the Two of Pentacles. And again, there is this delicate balance that feels very, very important at the beginning of this month. And this is quite interesting. I think there's been a lot of focus on routines and what works for you, what doesn't work for you in Capricorn season, you know, in January. And you have kind of figured out this balance, or you have more of a handle on this balance, or you're still figuring that out in February, but you have more of a foundation than you did before. Some of you are going through some life change as well. That is possible with the Two of Pentacles. So this could be a move or a change in your workplace, some sort of shift that is happening. And I feel like you're still finding your balance. You're still adjusting to some changes. And I think having a full moon in your sign at the beginning of this month around the 5th, this is a really big time for you coming into yourself more. And I feel like there's this potential for learning with the Page of Swords coming in very front and center to your reading here. The most present energy for the month of February. So again, there's a lot of communication. There's a lot of learning. I feel like there's also this trial by error. Some of you are going to need to try things a couple of times before you figure out what works for you. And that could be advice for relationships, that could be advice for work or some sort of creative project. It feels like there is a lot of learning. And this makes quite a bit of sense to me, actually, because Jupiter, the planet of expansion and wisdom, is in Aries, your 9th house of philosophy and travel. So there's a lot with learning, and perhaps learning or connecting or traveling to other parts of the world. And I really do get that vibe with the Page of Swords. I felt that travel vibe, actually. And so I feel like some of you could be going on a journey or taking a trip somewhere. I feel like this is going to broaden horizons and open up opportunities for you. February is a month that is full of opportunities, so definitely say yes to things. Don't give yourself those lame excuses to not do things. Take chances this month. I know things have felt kind of wobbly for you, but I think it's important that you are still striking this balance between self-care, but also trying new things that are a little bit out of your comfort zone, and that could also be involving conversations as well. Um, I just get this sense of learning. And it's interesting with the Seven of Wands here coming in as a potential challenge for you this month. You might be needing to defend your viewpoint. This energy does feel a bit like a debate, although at times it might feel like there's not actually a debate that's going on. There's just conflict, and there's not really seeing eye to eye. And maybe that's why you are needing to strike some sort of balance. Maybe some of you have been filling some sort of mediator role, or you've just needed to kind of hear both sides of a situation. And I feel like there is kind of this continued theme of conflict throughout this month, if that is resonating for some of you. For others of you, it's like you need to take a stand in what it is that you care about, the things that are most important to you. It might feel like those things are coming under fire or under attack in some way. But I think it's just really important that you kind of keep moving forward. Address conflict. I'm not telling you to avoid or ignore it. I do feel like there is this importance with communication, but don't let this consume you. That's my advice for you, Leo. Don't let these uncomfortable situations or emotions consume you. Address them, acknowledge them, and then continue moving forward. We actually do have the Six of Swords at the end of this month, and this is a really beautiful way to kind of end this off, because this is forward-moving energy. This is you leaving behind hard situations. For some of you, again, this is also a travel card, and I'm just going to say that I feel like especially around the 17th, we have Mercury forming a sextile with Jupiter, and sextiles basically represent opportunities. And so there could be this opportunity to broaden your horizons. Maybe that is through travel or through learning something. It could also be coming through a partner as well. But I feel like it's just important that you keep moving forward. I'm looking at these migrating birds again, so I do get the sense of physical movement here. Or again, just connecting to another part of the world, maybe connecting to your roots or connecting to another culture. I do want to pull some more cards for you, actually, Leo. I'm really curious about relationships, specifically love, because I do know that's going to be a really important theme for you this month, but I also get the sense that travel and moving forward and, there's a lot of ideas and philosophy that is coming up this month as well, which is kind of interesting. And that's probably going to be resonant at least through the first half of this year. That is how long Jupiter will be in the sign of Aries. And so throughout this time, there could be opportunities that are coming from abroad or travel opportunities. We have Temperance and we have the Emperor. So this is really, really beautiful. I feel like I'm kind of getting this pattern for you, Leo, where in the past you've been in relationships where you have had to surrender parts of yourself or you muted parts of yourself, and you're now coming into a new cycle of relationships where you are very embodied. And I'm seeing that with the Emperor and Temperance. Now, many people think of Temperance as a balance card as well, and there is certainly a theme of balance for you, but I really think of Temperance as tempering or to strengthen something. This is a process of tempering metal and really bringing out the best qualities or attributes in something. And it is kind of through this process of alchemy by bringing opposites into balance. And so you could be integrating things in relationships or in connection with other people. Temperance actually is a really beautiful energy overall because there's a lot of harmony. There's a lot of seeing eye to eye. And with the Emperor, this is a very strong, solid energy as well. And I feel like there are two people who are coming together in a powerful way in a place of agency. That feels really, really important to me. Um, for those of you who are not in a relationship or not connecting with anyone at the moment, I feel like there is this thing with self-love, actually, that's really, really important. And maybe even embodying qualities that you are looking for in another person in yourself. That feels very significant to me. Overall, though, relationships actually look really good. And the interesting thing is, I feel like if you are feeling defensive in some way or like you need to stand up for yourself, that's actually coming more in kind of group settings or maybe even politically with Mars in the sign of Gemini. Mars was retrograde in January and it is now moving forward. So we're kind of wrapping up the themes and conflicts that came up. And that's actually going to be the case until March. So there is still some resolution that we are in. But overall, I feel like there's a lot more balance. There's a lot more power and authority in relationships, and that's how you're going to find those healthy relationships, by having this very firm sense of who you are and knowing what your boundaries are. Are there any other messages for Leo at this time? Any other messages for Leo at this time? I actually feel like I should just pull an animal card for you. Whoa! Okay. Where'd that other one go? Okay, so we have the oyster, which is about sharing a gift or a pearl with the world, sharing your voice with other people, not letting doubt or imposter syndrome cause you from holding back your gifts that you are meant to share. That is a message for a lot of you. We do also have Scorpion. This is an energy that often comes up when we need to deal with conflict, when there's kind of this walking on eggshells sort of feeling, and there's this sort of tension and heat. It's important that you just get straight to it. This will actually kind of help you get back into a more fun and kind of gregarious energy, which feels important this month as well. So really just saying what you need to say, opening things up, not being too closed off here, sharing your insights, sharing your perspective, sharing your gifts. All of that is very important to relationships and just for the energy for you overall this month, Leo. Anything else? The butterfly. Yes, there is a transformation that is taking place. There is definitely an emerging that is taking place. So some of you are really opening your heart or having very important one-on-one conversations this month that are going to be very, very transformative. So don't be afraid to have those vulnerable conversations. Welcome them. Take them as opportunities to grow and expand and really bring your soul into your body and into your heart. Anyways, Leo, those are all the messages I have for you this month. Be sure to hit like and subscribe, and you can find all of my links in the description box down below. I will see you next time.